You take your thumb and hold it straight. If you can bend it upwards a bit, you can do that, but it's not necessarily needed. So you try and hit the string. You sort of really propel your finger towards the string. Let's just take the 6th string for now. And then you want to pierce it until you crash into the next string. All of that is one motion. So you propel, then you pierce. And if you make that into one motion, it's pierce into crash, pierce to crash, pierce to crash, pierce to crash, right? Next step, once you've landed onto the next string, you want to flick your thumb back, all right? Flick. What you want to use for that is just about like this part of the finger. That's pretty much where your nail meets the fleshy part, right? So you pierce and then you flick and then you pierce and flick, pierce, flick. Make sure you really crash into the next string. Pierce to crash and then flick, all right? So now we want to make this a full simultaneous motion, right? So like you pierce, and once you flick, we're now going to involve the next fingers. You want to attach your index, middle, and ring finger onto the next string. So let's just take the 5th, the 4th, and the 3rd string for this exercise, right? So we had the pierce and we had the flick. Once you flick, you want to attach those fingers onto the next string in one motion. So flick into attach, flick into attach, flick into attach. The fingers already have to be there, so to say, right? Pierce, flick, attach. Once your fingers are attached, you want to roll them off the string. If you just like pick normally, you're playing classical guitar, and we don't want to do that. We want the percussive thumping sound, right? So pierce, flick, attach, and now we roll off, roll off, roll off. You really got to make sure that you really roll off the string to get that percussive sound, right? So what we have now is pierce to crash, flick, attach, roll off, roll off, roll off, right? Really make sure you get that roll, right? Pierce to crash, flick, attach, roll off, roll off, roll off. Pierce to crash, flick, attach, roll off, roll off, roll off. It's all one movement. If you're having trouble with using those fingers here in a coordinated manner, you can just attach them without the thumb and then try this exercise. You roll off your index finger, put it back. Then do the same with the middle finger, put it back. Do the same with the ring finger, put it back. And make that whole thing a loop. Practice that until you have a good control of your fingers, right? So next thing, we're going to try and like do the full process. Pierce, flick, attach, roll off, roll off, roll off.